Well, this channel is usually just video game content, but today I wanted to yap about something different. Use this as just a fucking diary entry, I guess. Besides video games, I have one other hobby, and that is MMA. I do compete in it. I wanted to talk about what this video is titled, which is MMA is Brutal, and I did not want to go over what every video labeled this goes over, and that is just another video about CTE. I don't want to cover CTE. If you didn't know, a giant ripped black man throwing his body weight into your fucking forehead was bad for your brain, then that's kind of on you. I actually wanted to talk about another side of MMA that I think the casual fan base really overlooks, especially at the amateur and regional pro level, and that is the process of training for and actually getting fights. And I'm gonna go over my personal experience with that this year. I've been doing this for about 5 years now, so I have 15 fights under my belt, 7 of which are MMA, and then 8 of which are Muay Thai, and then I have some jiu-jitsu comps and stuff. Like the Muay Thai and jiu-jitsu comps are like side quests, and then I compete in MMA. MMA is the goal at the end of the day. But from my experience, a lot of people, when they realize that I fight, they ask me, where do you fight out of? Where do you fight out of? What does that question mean? Does that mean, where do I train out of? Because I train out of a couple of different gyms. I have the gyms I go to for striking, and then the gyms I go to for grappling and stuff. And usually I explain that to them, and then they're confused, and they're like, no, like, who do you fight for? And I think that's because what they picture is, most casuals know, in the UFC, you sign a contract and you are guaranteed 3 fights, or I'm sure there's clauses in there for them to release you, but that you sign like a 3-fight contract. You go and you do the 3 fights. Most people get kicked out after those 3 fights because they lose them or whatever, right? That's not how it works at the amateur regional pro level. As an amateur, you don't even sign a fucking contract 90% of the time. And if you do, the contract is just bullshit. It really is. And then as a regional pro, you're usually signing 1-fight deals because nobody as a regional pro is that important, and they're not going to offer you enough money either. It's going to be like $400 to show, $400 to win at the lowest levels. Of course, there's some better regional pro orgs that are going to fucking give you a little more than that, but really you're signing like 1-fight, 2-fight deals. It's not that. And that's where I think the brutality of the sport really comes into play, and that's just how much time it can eat up, and how much of that time is just you damaging your body for nothing. A little backstory. Like I said, I started almost 5 years ago. I started with Muay Thai, mostly doing Muay Thai. I did train a little bit of jiu-jitsu, didn't really start competing in jiu-jitsu until I started competing in MMA. But then I had my first MMA fight after 4 Thai fights, and I lost it. I lost it because I didn't understand wrestling. But then I went on a 5-fight win streak. I moved up a weight class for this. I realized I just needed to put on weight and not be a pussy and fight just at 145 instead of 35. And I did great at it. Like I said, 5-fight win streak. And then this was going to be like my year. I thought I was going to fight this guy that was coming up at the time, who was a black belt. He'd been doing it for 10 years. It was like a big test. I was going to beat him and then possibly go pro. Maybe fight one more time after that. But 2025 was going to be my year to be like, oh shit, here I am. This is, it's my time to go pro. Whatever. That being said, I went out there, had a good first minute, fucking cracking the right hand, slip under a hook, hit a nice takedown, put him on his back. But I forgot to mention I am not a black belt, so then I got fucking armbarred like an idiot. Okay, so that sucks, right? You prep for all this time, I thought it was my moment to show who I was. Of course, ego played a role in that and kind of fucked me over. I thought I could put a black belt on his back and pound his face in, and punching in a black belt's guard obviously was low IQ. So that's rough, right? Everybody knows that part's rough. But then the rough part, like I said, that people don't recognize is then, they heal up. Elbow was a little hyperextended, but it is what it is, right? So then I have to get back at it. Well, I'm looking at a card, September 6th. Start prepping 10 weeks out from that. Can't find anyone. I'm in a weird spot. I kind of beat people that were 4-1, 3-1, those type of people, right? I'm ranked 3rd in my state. There's only fucking 48 of us. That's not that hard to do. I just had to be better than 45 other people in the fucking state. It's not that crazy, but that also means there aren't that many people. So trying to fight in a fight, September 6th, doesn't happen. Couldn't find anybody that was willing to fight at the weight class. There was somebody at 55 that was like, move up, get your cheeks clapped if you want. Said no to that, right? Then it's, oh, we found you a fight September 21st. Start prepping for that. Haven't stopped prepping. 10 weeks out from September 6th, just carried over into September 21st. That gets canceled because of a storm damaging the casino, right? Like random as fuck. Then it gets moved to November 2nd. Don't slow down, don't stop. I have to keep prepping. It keeps stacking. It keeps stacking. My body fucking crashes. It decides it's done. I get sick for a week and a half. Then I get staph, 2 spots on my leg. My knee fills up. I have to go to the ER and get it drained and cut open the top and push all the shit out. Do all that. I'm on antibiotics. I'm taking 4 pills a day, 2 different antibiotics. So I have to pull out, or else I'm gonna go out there and fight like a zombie, or maybe even die during the fucking weight cut because I ripped 12 pounds of water out of my body, and doing that with antibiotics in my system like that is probably not the smartest thing to do. So there goes 2025. That is the brutality of this sport. That's what people don't talk about. Everybody talks about the hidden evil of CTE. No, it's not like a normal sport, so there's no seasons. Everybody knows CTE is fucked up. Everybody understands it. When you go into combat sports, you don't walk into the room and everybody's like, what's CTE? Everybody makes jokes about CTE. Everybody understands that. But not everybody understands how hard it is to consistently get fights, to make it to fights without getting injured. The brutality of the sport that gets overlooked, I think, so heavily is the fact that you can waste an entire year. So now I'm going to use myself as an example again. I could spend this entire year just going through everything I just explained, and I could finally get a fight next year, go out there, and get finished in 30 seconds. Like, that's just the brutal reality of the sport that I don't think gets talked about. Everybody talks about the weight cuts, the CTE, the, oh, you have to give up on, like, going to parties and doing this and that. You have to live a certain lifestyle. Yeah, everybody understands that. But it's the fact that, like, imagine training all season for a basketball game. You go out there, you somehow lose the basketball game in 2 minutes, and then you have to wait another 6 months to a year to play again, right? Like, that is so defeating, and that is fucking brutal. That's about all I wanted to rant about. I just wanted to yap for a minute about something besides video games. If somehow anyone made it this far into the video, if you have any suggestions at all, I'll talk about anything. I think I will probably be doing this every other week where I just yap about something that isn't revolved around video games. So that's about it.
Misery loves company. Shields up! C4 set! Rocket delivery! And now we sell.